Hello, gang. My name is Fuzzy Jardine, coming from Hawaii, and I'm super stoked to be part of this show or podcast with Brian and share my journey on how I became a real estate developer. Today, we're going to be talking about my story and how I've created wealth through real estate and how I went down the wrong path and ended up becoming a developer right here in Hawaii in lava zone areas 1 through 10, talking about that as well. So super excited to share that knowledge because I know a lot of people don't know about lava in their hometown.
Welcome to the Rental Property Owner and Real Estate Investor Podcast, brought to you by the Rental Property Owners Association, where real estate investors have found success since 1968. I'm your host, Brian Hamrick from Hamrick Investment Group. This episode is sponsored by Green Property Management, managing everything from single-family homes to apartment complexes in the West Michigan area. Find out more at greenpropertymgt.com. And RCB & Associates, helping real estate investors and small business owners navigate the complex world of health insurance and Medicare benefits at rcbassociatesllc.com. Hello and welcome to episode 525. My guest today is Kolaiah Fuzzy Jardine, co-founder of HUI Mastermind, an organization helping Native Hawaiians and locals build generational wealth through real estate. After overcoming significant personal and financial setbacks, Fuzzy went on to develop more than 100 affordable homes and build a multimillion-dollar real estate portfolio across Hawaii. Today, he focuses on teaching others how to invest ethically, honor the land, and strengthen their communities through real estate. Fuzzy, welcome to the show.
Right on, Brian. Mahalo. And, I'm glad I'm on here today to, share that it's possible. Some local boy like me from Hawaii, from a small town, come from $0, got into trouble and created a portfolio that my ohana can live for generations to come.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background. Obviously, there was some trouble in your background and that you overcame, but fill us in. Like, what do we need to know about you?
I'm from Honolulu, right? The main city is, Honolulu. And then I come from a little town called Waimanalo, and we were living on leased land. And, I'm not too sure if you guys are familiar. It's almost like renting the land. So my grandparents was leasing this farmland, and we grew up on a pig farm. And then I was, raised with my single mom. And then I had all my uncles and aunties. So there's a bunch of people living in the same house. And in Hawaii, that's just kind of like the norm because it's so expensive. Our median house is about $1 million, right, to purchase a home here. So, you can understand it's a struggle to survive here. And not only that, the wages don't match the cost of living. So growing up, in Hawaii, everybody like parties for everything. We have a first birthday party for all the kids, right? When you make 1 year old, there's a huge party, right? People throw parties, it's beautiful around us too. And a lot of us enjoy life, right? And in Hawaii, there's the good side where people, go down the straight path. And then there's the other side where, I thought was the side that I wanted to be in. Oh boy, that was a great lesson for me to learn because I went down the path of drugs and alcohol and it landed me into federal prison. But while I was in there, I changed my whole entire life. And I decided that that's not what I wanted to do with my life. And I wanted to become a successful businessman or something when I got out. But while I was in there, I was learning from other inmates that were in there that were white collar crime guys that didn't pay their taxes, tax evasion, these kinds of guys that are kind of, we call it akamai or smart about how to run business. And I learned it from this one guy named Joel. And Joel was teaching 101, real estate 101. And from there, I was able to learn how to house hack. And I was like, oh my gosh, you could buy a house, fix it up, live in it for 2 years. And then when you sell it, right, the profits at the end, if there's profits, you can take those profits and not get taxed on it. And that just blew my mind. So when I came home, of course, I had an X on my back. Now I had to go get back into society and get a job. It's hard to get a job when you come out of prison. Anyway, long story short, I ended up getting my first job as a window cleaner, making $9 an hour. That wasn't cutting it. Then I became a surf instructor. That was fun, but that was also wasn't cutting it. And then I got my third job as a valet driver. And so I had the three jobs, was making good income, built back my credit, was giving back to my society, my community, meaning, being a good boy now. But I didn't have time, right? Because I had the three jobs just to survive here. And I knew in my heart that I wanted to become buy a house here in Hawaii, but it was super expensive. So long story short, I was just searching and searching. And then all of a sudden, there was this commercial that came on the radio station that these guys were looking for people to be part of their team. And they were coming here in Hawaii they bought properties, they fixed it up and used other people's money. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to this event. It's free, right? I know they're going to sell me something, but that's something that I needed. And that's what I was looking for. Lo and behold, whatever the guy was saying made sense to me. And I knew I wanted to be part of their team, and I was going to do whatever it took because I was already following the footsteps of my mom and grandparents who had 3 or 4 jobs just to survive here. And I knew real estate was the ticket. And excuse me. So what the guy was saying made sense. And I knew, all right. So at the end of that 2-hour free session, they said, okay, pay $200, come to our 3-day event. We're going to show you everything. I knew they were going to sell something there, but I didn't know the price point. But it was a blessing that I was able to have the credit from the jobs that I had to pay for the education. And they put me in the path of where I'm at today by the education that they taught me and changed the mindset that where I was at, where I don't have any money, to be able to use OPM and OPT, other people's time, right? Other people's money, other people's time, to be able to run my real estate business. Now I'm 12 years in this business. I've built over 150 plus affordable homes on the Big Island for local families and families from all over. And they're affordable, right? $350,000 brand new house in Hawaii. Like it was a blessing that I took the leap of faith to join this program. And here I am today talking to you, Brian. It's an awesome life. I created a multimillion-dollar portfolio coming out of prison with $0 in my pocket, but I knew I had a why that was strong enough to become successful in something.
What was the program, and what was the technique that you learned, and how did you put it into place right away?
I knew that at the time my parents was going through foreclosure, so I kind of signed up with them as well because I knew I wanted to help my parents. So as soon as I signed up, I was able to link up with the coaches that were here in Hawaii, and the coaches basically walked me through the whole process of how they would deal with a client or someone that was going through a foreclosure process. So we jumped in the car with the coach. They drove me around looking at all the comparables of homes that sold and what the after repair value would cost or would be to help my parents. And I sat through the meeting. They offered the different exit strategies for my parents, but luckily my brother was there to help save my parents. And he was able to save my parents. But then what I did was, after that meeting with the coaches and my parents, I sat with them in the car and I said, look, I'll do everything you guys need me to. I have a good background of construction. All my friends are contractors. And I ended up becoming project manager, door knocker, marketing guy. And sorry, I didn't mention, this was the fortune builders. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with fortune builders, but they could go through all the different cities. And that was a commercial that came around. But what they taught me was how to create your own real estate business. And when I signed up with them, it was a lifetime access to their education and their team. And it was just one of the best things that happened to me, or the choice that I made to take the leap of faith. It was an expensive price, but worth every single penny. And the strategies that taught me was to put out bandit signs that would say Fuzzy buys houses cash, or Craigslist ad that landed me right in front of a developer on the Big Island who I connected with and became a developer just like him because he taught me how to do it.
Was Fortune Builders, did they kind of give you the grounding? It sounds like it gave you a grounding in helping other people solve problems. Like if they're going through foreclosure, they like working out some sort of subject to or some sort of way to help them not go through foreclosure. But then at the same time, do some rehab, maybe some fix and flip. Is that kind of what you were learning through Fortune Builders?
Yeah, I mean, they're a full circle. So anything to do with real estate, they have everything to do with marketing, fix and flips, buy and holds. They also have a part where there's commercial investing. But, at that time I was like all gung-ho watching HGTV, all the shows, right? And also my wife and I were in escrow to buy our first home. But when my wife seen that I was going to pay for this education, she was like, "Oh my God, you're crazy. Like, we're going to buy a house." And I was like, "Don't worry." Like, I knew what the guys were saying made sense. And I knew my why was so strong enough. I wasn't going to let anybody stop me from doing it. And the education, it was what I needed and what my family needed to leave now. If I pass away today, leave a legacy behind.
You said you met a developer. And it sounds like he gave you some mentorship too. Talk about meeting him and how you were able to kind of align yourself with him and learn from him at the same time.
So some of the strategies, like I was saying, they tell you to go put Craigslist ads and, free marketing. And I started doing Craigslist ads. And the ad that I posted on Craigslist was Fuzzy buys houses cash and was on each island. And this guy was on the Big Island. I kind of was back and forth with my grandparents and my mom going from Oahu or Honolulu to Big Island. And this guy was on the Big Island in Puna, and he was a developer. And then he called me and said, "Yeah, I've got a brand new house I want to sell in this area." And I knew what area it was. I was like, "Why you want to sell this house so cheap?" He's like, "Well, I have multiple projects that's going on, and I'm just trying to get rid of this one so I can invest in the other ones that I have." So long story short, I told the guy, "Bro, I want to learn what you're doing." And what he needed was money. So I didn't have money, the kind of money he needed in the beginning. So I took what he had and presented it to my coaches. And the coaches was linking up with him, purchased the contract and all that kind of stuff. And I was just watching all of that stuff happen. But that never happened. But I kept in touch with this guy. And I told him, "Look, if I can bring money to the table, would you teach me?" And he said, "Yeah." And I didn't care about making any money. All I cared about was learning what he was doing. And even if it was for free, it didn't matter because I knew once I learned the process, I would be able to do exactly what he was doing. And that's what happened. I reached out to the network on the Facebook group with all the different investors as part of Fortune Builders. I sent like a pro forma or a executive summary or like a business plan on Facebook, opportunity in Hawaii. And there was like 20 people that messaged me, and then 2 people kind of stuck. And then one who is Frank and Cheryl, they've been investing with me since then. And we're still doing brand new builds together. They fund the deal. I manage all the projects, and then we split profits at the back end.
I'd like to take a moment to tell you about Green Property Management. Not only do they manage everything from single-family homes to apartment complexes in the West Michigan area, they also manage my entire portfolio. So I can tell you from personal experience that their unique flat fee management style is worth a closer look. If you feel that your property isn't operating to its fullest potential, then Green Property Management can help you take a holistic approach that will save you money, eliminate your headaches, and increase your net income. And if you're a property manager interested in applying Green Property Management's model, give them a call at 1-866-95-GREEN or visit them on the web at greenpropertymgt.com.
If you're thinking of leaving your W-2 job and becoming a full-time real estate investor, one of the greatest costs you must consider is healthcare for you and your family. When I made this transition myself, I found the whole healthcare insurance process to be confusing and frustrating. That's why I'm glad I met Chad
Chad Creasy at RCB and Associates. Chad is a professional health insurance agent who helps real estate investors and small business owners understand and choose their best healthcare options. And best of all, his services are covered by the insurance company and won't cost you a dime. If you live in Michigan and are expecting a change in your healthcare insurance coverage for any reason, or losing employer coverage or transitioning into Medicare, then you owe it to yourself to contact Chad Creasy at rcbassociatesllc.com.
So it sounds like you became a developer as well. Talk about that. Like, how did you decide, hey, I'm going to now become a developer and build these types of houses, affordable houses? What inspired you to do that?
My passion is for, like, I don't know if you noticed, but Hawaii is such a beautiful place. Like, everybody wants to come here, and then the people who have money, they invest, they buy, and then they increase the value, right? And that increases our taxes. So more and more people are getting pushed out because they cannot, they can if they choose, but a lot of them cannot because maybe their mindset. But there's like 15,000 people that's born and raised in Hawaii that's moving away every year. So my passion is to try and keep as much locals here, because it's sad to see my friends and family leave. And affordable housing there's a shortage of it. Like, there's only, like in Honolulu, is everybody's like stacked or living close to each other. And I knew that the Big Island in this Puna area is where there's a lot of land that's still affordable at affordable price, where I can build these homes by managing my own construction team and be able to build houses for families to be able to keep, at least one or two families here every single year. So that was my passion. And I have a heart for my locals, and, nothing against everybody else, but like, my passion is to try and keep more locals here so that we can spread more law when visitors come.
What is the economics of that? Like, it sounds like you found some land. Are you building a subdivision, or are you just doing infill wherever you can find lots? And what does it cost to build versus what you're able to sell these properties for?
So this area that's in Puna, it's kind of like raw land. So it's like you got to dig septic tanks, right? So, and then the land is already subdivided. I'm not going in and buying chunks of land and then subdividing these lots, because it's going to take a long time. And and then the county moves a little bit slower here in Hawaii. So what I'm doing is going into these different neighborhoods that are just raw land sitting, on a street. And then there's a couple houses on this street, but then I'll just buy the properties, try to buy them at a discount, because that helps when I go to sell the property and, sell it to a family at an affordable price. So my construction cost has been around, like, now under the 200 per square foot price point. And then I'm selling them for like, $250 a square foot. So say I'm all in about under 300, then I'm selling them for like $395, $385, $375 for a brand new house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 living square foot.
Are you able to sell those pretty quickly? And is there a good market for those and lending available to the buyers?
Yeah, it's been an awesome journey, and market went up, down, left, right, and we were still able, and even with lava flows, right? We, on the Big Island, is active lava, but I'm investing in the area in lava zone 3. So on the Big Island, just so people know that on the Big Island, active lava, she's going right now. We call her Pele. And so lava zone 1 through 10, the higher the number, the better area it is. But lava zone 1 and 2, there's really no insurance to cover, right? Home insurance. And then banks not going to loan in those areas or give people loans. So I'm investing in lava zone 3 and above. So you can get USDA, FHA, and, certain other loans where people can qualify to be able to purchase these homes in the area that I'm investing in.
What is a lava zone 3? Like, is there still a risk?
Yeah, I mean, the whole island is at risk, right? But it's a less risk area where it's at a level where banks will still allow people to, or give money to people to buy a home in that area. or areas.
Are there neighborhoods where like there's all of a sudden you look out your door and there's lava flowing by down your street?
I think it was in 2018 when they had that crazy, lava flow in Leilani Estates. If you look it up, Leilani Estates, Fissure 8, just type in Fissure 8 on YouTube, and it just overnight came like there was cracks coming under people's homes, and the lava just was flowing. It took almost 1,000 houses out in that lava zone 1 area. So yes, like it's like that. And that's why I don't invest in those areas. But, even after that lava flow, you still own the land, but now you're on black lava rock. And people after that lava flow either moved away or some people moved back. And there's like houses like sitting, and you can see the lava that went right around the whole house. And then it's in the middle of a lava field. It's so crazy.
So is there like special lava insurance?
There's no lava insurance, man. I mean, there's fire insurance, but the thing is, it's either you got to have proof, like video, like nobody's going to be standing around with the lava coming around and trying to videotape your house getting burnt down by fire. So it's definitely a challenge or a life that people already understand here, right? That live on that island, that the choice that they make, to live in those areas, one day the lava could come. So that's just a choice. It's definitely cheaper to buy those properties, right? You can buy an acre for like, $7 or $8,000. But again, I would say put your house on a trailer or something if you're going to go live in that area. And then if the lava does come, you can pull your house away.
Well, I mean, I guess in, California, you have earthquakes. Those could come anytime. You've got fires. You've got flooding issues around the coastal area. So in Hawaii, you have lava issues.
Well, one island, yeah, the big island.
Is it just the one island? You don't have to worry about it on the others?
No, all the other islands are all dormant. But, with the crazy things that's happening today, we'd never know what can happen, right? So much stuff happening with our environment. But yeah, if you go to the USGS live cam for volcano in Hawaii, you'll see the eruption and videos of like the lava shooting, but it's in a caldera where it's in a huge like lava pit, and it's been going off. So far, it went off like 34 times or 33 times, but shooting in the air like crazy, like all like oh my gosh, wow, it's so crazy to see it in person.
I know one of your things or topics that you talk about is respecting the land, which is very important to you. Talk about that. Like, what does that mean to you to respect the land?
Yeah, you don't want to throw trash on your property or, throwing trash on the ground. You want to like take care of what you own, right? You come into your house, like in Hawaii, like we kind of like the Japanese style, we take off our shoes and then we walk in so that our house is clean. But investing in Hawaii, and when I talk about it in my book, the Pono Way is righteous. Because there's a lot of people like my parents that were going through foreclosure. And you want to approach these people with respect because there's a story behind every single family. You don't know what their struggle's been going on. So there's a lot of other investors that only think about money before people, right? And the way that I try to treat this business is people before profits. And that's kind of what I talk about when we, respecting the land. Like you don't go in and buy a big piece of property in an area where it's called, we call it the Kolaiah lands, where it was passed down from generation to generation. And it can go deeper about this story. And, I stay away from certain areas in Hawaii because of that, just out of respect, like I wouldn't, it's almost like spitting on your parents or your grandparents. You wouldn't want to do that, right? So I stay away from those areas and I go in areas that I can invest, and it's already subdivided, has its own address and TMK.
What's your goal now? I mean, you've built over 100 of these affordable houses and homes for families. Where do you go next?
I'm still currently doing, right now I'm doing about 45 projects and adding that I'm building every year. I do about 20 plus, but right now we're actively doing about 45 projects, single family homes for rental and also to flip. But my passion now is to be an inspiration and to teach others this journey that I went through and to become a coach. So I'm a coach here with my business partner, Zasha Smith. She's from Maui, come from humble beginnings as well. And we created this thing called the HUI Real Estate Mastermind for locals here in Hawaii to, become other investors right here to leave a legacy for their family. That's my passion now.
What's your message to others who are listening to the show, who are kind of come from maybe some of the same struggles you came from, and are really wondering, okay, look, I can't even pay my rent. How am I going to get into real estate investing? What's your message to them?
You got to really sit down and write down your dreams, your goals, and your whys. A lot of us we're sitting in a bucket full of crabs, right? And that could be your family, your friends. And then when you try to reach out to the edge of the bucket and get out, they try to pull you down. And not because they don't want you to, it's just that's where they're at in their life. That's the level that they reached. And once you reach over the bucket and get out, and you can see from outside looking in, you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I just do it a long time ago? And sometimes people tend to take a long time to realize that. And before you know it, a lot of people are like, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, right? So taking advantage of not taking advantage, do what you want, what you're passionate about, right? A lot of our family and friends want us to go do this, do that, or stay in that same cycle that we're brought up to go to school, get educated, go work for corporate, or work for a job, and never to become an entrepreneur or create your own business, which is pretty sad to me, right? And whatever you do today, like I say all the time, whatever you spend your time, your focus on, you will be in that position tomorrow, right? Creating whatever you are today can create your why, create your dream of becoming that person that you always wanted to be. So follow people that have gone the path, someone that you can look up to, a mentor, a coach that can get you there, because they'll get you there faster instead of going it alone.
Fuzzy, how would people find out more about you, get a hold of you, or join your mentorship group?
Well, our mentorship is a paid mentorship. It's only for people that's ready to take action. But it's a great mentorship because we're here in Hawaii to teach people that's wanting to get involved with real estate. It's called the HUI Mastermind, HUI Mastermind.com. Or you can go to my website, fuzzyjardine.com. And I'm pretty active on Instagram. Instagram page is HIFUZZ. So you can check me out on those platforms.
Are you mentoring live, like only to people who are in Hawaii, or are you nationwide?
Our HUI Mastermind is for people that's from Hawaii and also people who moved away from Hawaii. And then we also do free masterclasses or, free masterclasses, or we do like webinars. That's, anybody can chime in. And we also do live events here in Hawaii at least once a month.
How are you using AI today in your business?
ChatGPT, it's a big help, right? ChatGPT, Gamma, to be able to create our webinars. I mean, it's insane, right? You can go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to run homework for you, meaning like, okay, I'm going to invest in this area. What do you know about this area? And it just like in seconds, it just insane. So ChatGPT is one of my favorites.
And you're using Gamma to create your webinars, like the slides?
Helping, yes. So we help create the slides, and then we edit what we need. But it's instant, like crazy.
Fuzzy, thanks for coming on the show today and talking about your background, how you got started investing in real estate, kind of the mentorship you went through, both with the fortune builders and then with the local developer that you were able to work with. And then, building affordable homes and respecting the land there in Hawaii. It's been a real pleasure talking with you. Thanks so much.
Right on, Brian. Mahalo, and hope you have a great day. And I hope I brought some knowledge to anyone that's watching, to your audience. And see you guys soon, man.
I want to thank everybody for listening to this episode. I'm your host, Brian Hamrick from Hamrick Investment Group, and you can find out more about me by going to higinvestor.com. That's HIGinvestor.com. This episode was sponsored by Green Property Management, managing everything from single-family homes to apartment complexes in the West Michigan area. Find out more at greenpropertymgt.com.
And RCB and Associates, helping real estate investors and small business owners navigate the complex world of health insurance and Medicare benefits at rcbassociatesllc.com.
You've been listening to the Rental Property Owner and Real Estate Investor Podcast, brought to you by the Rental Property Owner Association. You can find out more at rpoaonline.org. If you enjoyed this podcast, please go to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review.